The history of Morocco from ancient Berber kingdoms to modern monarchy. Morocco, located at the crossroads of Europe, Africa, and the Middle East, has a rich and complex history that reflects its unique cultural influences and geopolitical significance. Known for its striking landscapes, diverse population, and dynamic heritage, Morocco's history spans from ancient Berber settlements to the rise of Islam, through the establishment of powerful dynasties, and into its modern monarchy. The nation's ability to blend its traditional identity with elements of European and Arab culture has enabled it to retain a unique position in North Africa. Prehistoric and ancient Morocco. The history of Morocco begins with the Berber people, also known as the Amazigh, who are indigenous to North Africa and whose presence in the region dates back over 10,000 years. Archaeological evidence, including rock carvings and prehistoric tools, shows that early humans inhabited Morocco during the Stone Age. Ancient Morocco was heavily influenced by Phoenician traders, who established trading posts along the coast by the 12th century BC. During the 6th century BC, Carthage, a powerful North African city-state, exerted influence over Morocco. Carthaginian traders expanded commerce in the region, and Moroccan coastal cities like Lixus became part of Carthage's trade network. After Carthage's fall in the 2nd century BC, Morocco came under Roman control in parts of the region, specifically in the area around Volubilis, which became a major Roman settlement. However, the interior remained largely independent under Berber rule, Islamic conquest, and the First Dynasties. In the 7th century CE, Arab Muslim armies spread across North Africa, bringing Islam to Morocco. By 788 CE, Idris I, a descendant of the Prophet Muhammad, established the Idrisid dynasty in Morocco, founding the city of Fez as its capital. This period marked the beginning of Morocco's development as an Islamic state and saw the blending of Arab and Berber cultures. Fez became an important center for Islamic scholarship, art, and culture, attracting scholars and merchants from across the Islamic world. Following the Idrisids, Morocco was ruled by a series of Berber dynasties, each of which contributed to the country's political and cultural evolution. The Almoravid dynasty 1040 to 1147 expanded Morocco's influence by conquering parts of Spain and establishing an empire that spanned much of North Africa. They founded Marrakesh as their capital in 1062, which became an influential center for trade and learning. The Almohads, who overthrew the Almoravids in the 12th century, were known for their architectural achievements and further expanded Moroccan influence in Iberia. Marinids, Saadians, and the rise of regional power. The Marinid dynasty 1240 to 1465 succeeded the Almohads and continued Morocco's era of expansion and prosperity. They invested heavily in building educational institutions, madrasas, and mosques, particularly in Fez, which became an even more significant intellectual and spiritual center. However, by the 15th century, the Marinids faced internal strife and the rising power of Portugal and Spain along the Moroccan coast. The Saadian dynasty 1510 to 1659 rose to power in the 16th century, unifying Morocco after a period of fragmentation. The Saadians are remembered for their military success, especially at the Battle of the Three Kings in 1578, in which they defeated a Portuguese invasion. Under the Saadians, Morocco gained wealth from the trans-Saharan gold trade and the sugar industry. They beautified Marrakesh with iconic structures, such as the El Badi Palace. The Alawite dynasty and European influence. The Alawite dynasty, which rules Morocco to this day, came to power in 1666. Founded by Moulay al-Rashid, the Alawites managed to restore stability to Morocco after a period of political fragmentation. Moulay Ismail 1672–1727, one of the most famous Alawite sultans, strengthened the monarchy, built up a powerful army, and consolidated his control over the country. His reign was marked by impressive architectural projects, including the construction of the monumental walls and gates in Mex. The Alawite rulers successfully defended Morocco from European encroachment for several centuries, but by the 19th century, Morocco faced increasing pressure from European powers. France and Spain sought to expand their influence in North Africa, leading to a series of diplomatic and military confrontations. In 1912, after years of conflict, Morocco was forced to sign the Treaty of Fez, establishing a French protectorate in most of Morocco, with Spain controlling northern and southern zones. The French and Spanish protectorates. Under the protectorate system, France implemented infrastructure projects and economic reforms but restricted the political freedoms of Moroccans. French authorities sought to modernize Morocco's economy, building railways, roads, and urban centers, particularly in Casablanca and Rabat. However, this development primarily benefited the colonial economy, while many Moroccans faced economic hardships and social inequality. Despite repression, nationalist movements emerged during the 1930s, advocating for Morocco's independence. Moroccan intellectuals, activists, and religious leaders joined together to resist colonial rule, and the Istiqlal Party of Independence became a leading voice for Moroccan self-determination. During World War II, the French weakened, and Moroccan nationalism gained traction, with increasing calls for an end to colonial rule. Independence and the reign of King Mohammed V. After World War II, the demand for Moroccan independence intensified. In 1944, the Istiqlal Party issued a manifesto calling for Morocco's full independence, and nationalist leaders, including Sultan Mohammed V, became symbols of the movement. In 1953, the French exiled Mohammed V to Madagascar, which further fueled anti-colonial sentiment among Moroccans. By 1956, faced with growing pressure and nationalist uprisings, France agreed to recognize Morocco's independence. Spain also relinquished its protectorate over the northern and southern zones, although it retained control of the enclaves of Ceuta and Melilla. Mohammed V became king of an independent Morocco, working to unify the nation and modernize its institutions. King Hassan to end modernization. In 1961, King Hassan II succeeded his father, Mohammed V. King Hassan ruled Morocco for nearly 4 decades, a period marked by both modernization efforts and political challenges. He pursued economic development projects, promoted tourism, and strengthened Morocco's ties with Western countries. However, Hassan's rule also saw periods of political repression, particularly during the years of Lead, when political dissidents faced imprisonment, torture, and exile. In 1975, Hassan II launched the Green March to assert Morocco's claim over the Western Sahara, a disputed territory previously held by Spain. The move received broad public support and led to the partial incorporation of Western Sahara into Morocco, but it also ignited a prolonged conflict with the Polisario Front, a Sahrawi independence movement. The Western Sahara issue remains unresolved and is a sensitive political matter in Morocco to this day. King Mohammed VI and contemporary reforms. In 1999, Hassan II's son, Mohammed VI, ascended to the throne, ushering in a new era of political and social reform. Mohammed VI aimed to modernize Morocco's economy, promote human rights, and improve the standard of living for Moroccans. He introduced a series of reforms, including the 2004 Family Code Mudawana, which expanded rights for women in marriage, divorce, and child custody, making Morocco one of the most progressive countries in the Arab world in terms of gender equality. In 2011, amid the Arab Spring, Morocco experienced its own protests, with Moroccans calling for greater political freedoms and government accountability. In response, Mohammed VI initiated constitutional reforms, granting more powers to the parliament and prime minister while retaining the monarchy's authority. The constitutional changes helped Morocco avoid the violent uprisings seen in other countries during the Arab Spring. Modern Morocco economic development and regional influence. Today, Morocco continues to pursue economic growth and modernization, with a focus on tourism, renewable energy, and infrastructure. The government has invested in ambitious projects, such as the world's largest concentrated solar power plant in Ouarzazate and a high-speed train network connecting major cities like Casablanca, Rabat, and Tangier. Morocco has also positioned itself as a gateway to Africa, fostering trade relations with sub-Saharan countries and promoting investment in the region. In the realm of foreign policy, Morocco maintains strong ties with both the Arab world and Western nations, including the United States and the European Union. The country has recently taken steps to improve its relationship with Israel and has continued to play a diplomatic role in African and Middle Eastern affairs. Conclusion. Morocco's history is a tapestry of cultural diversity, resilience, and adaptability. From its ancient Berber roots to its modern monarchy, Morocco has maintained a distinct identity that reflects its geographical and cultural intersections. The country has evolved from a land of powerful dynasties and colonial rule to an independent state with a unique blend of tradition and modernity. Today, Morocco stands as a leading nation in North Africa, balancing its rich heritage with ambitions for a prosperous future in an interconnected world.